Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for making your way back. I am shooting a video today on something that I think a lot of women can relate to, probably especially more now than ever before because we are still, well, in my eyes, we're still in lockdown. I know lockdown ended today, the 21st of May, but in my humble opinion, until coronavirus is gone, we are still in lockdown. So I think that this is probably something that a lot of women are probably particularly struggling with right now. It's something that I have struggled with for decades, probably since I was, a year of age. And because I'm always having this conversation with a friend of mine who I'm sure wants to kill me, because every other day I'm like, hey friend, so I think I'm gonna go vegan. Hey friend, so I think I'm gonna go plant-based. Hey friend, so apparently keto is the way to go. So I figured, let me relieve her of her duties of having to listen to me lie to her every 2 weeks, and let me come on here and lie to you guys. So let's get right into it. As we speak, I am, just doing what I always do. I've moved on to another diet. I'm having Herbalife shake when in Rome. So let me give you guys context. So I've always been a full-figured girl. I've never been skinny. I am considered an endomorph, which means I gain weight very quickly. I do also lose weight not quite quickly, but it's not difficult for me to lose weight. It's very difficult for me to keep the weight off. And for me, in order to lose weight, I have to completely change the way that I eat. Unlike some people who can work out and still eat quite poorly and lose weight. That I can't do. When it comes to working out, I am A1. I'm champ. Though I have injuries and though I have a condition which makes it difficult for me to work out, I'm still really good with working out. And generally, I'm very consistent. I haven't been in the past 2-3 weeks, but generally I'm very consistent with working out. But when it comes to food, guys, I have the most unhealthiest relationship with food of all time. But I'm sure a lot of you ladies can relate. So please don't make me feel alone here. Please comment down below. Let's share, let's vent. But I'm hoping and I want this video to be the start of a change for me. I'll be eating a burger from Times Square tomorrow. No, I want this video to encourage me to actually make a significant change. I also need to say I don't need anybody commenting down below on advice or tips. I don't need that. I pay a man for that and he does a phenomenal job at it. I just ignore him all the time. So please don't tell me what diets work or what lifestyle changes or, no, please, I'll block you. I did it on Facebook. I'll do it here. Don't try me. I'm hoping this will be the impetus I need to get back on the consistency road, right? So for me, it's not about dieting. I don't believe in diets as I literally drink a pyramid scheme. I don't believe in diets. I believe in lifestyle changes, and that is the only way, actually, the 2 times in my life where I've actually significantly lost weight, I did it through a lifestyle change, not through a diet, not through anything hectic or a fad, just by completely changing the way that I look at my relationship with food. But the thing is, for me, it's really difficult unless I have motivation. The first time it worked really well, I had motivation because it was, I had to do it for coin. I had a job which required me to stay at a certain weight. I ballooned, and in order for me to keep that job, I had to lose weight. So that was enough motivation because I love money. The second time was when I was getting married. Now everybody loses weight. Well, 99% of women who are about to get married lose weight because they have the wedding dress in mind and they want to fit into the wedding dress and they want to look wonderful in their pictures, even if those pictures are going to be burnt and shredded and deleted off of hard drives 2 years later. You want to look great in your wedding, and just the stress of getting wedding, no pun intended, the stress of getting married also kind of, speeds up the weight loss process organically, right? So that was the second time I lost weight. But after that, I really haven't had that much motivation. You know what I mean? It hasn't stopped me from meeting men. Actually, I take it back. I do have motivation that is actually bigger than a wedding dress, bigger than money. It is to get healthy. That's my motivation. I was born and raised in the US. I spent about 19, almost 20 years there before I decided to move to South Africa to go to university. Then after university, I finally came to Botswana and I settled here, right? So growing up, I had a really bad diet because obviously a lot of the food in the States is genetically modified. Fast food is so easy to obtain. And I just grew up with a really bad palate. My palate, I mean, to this day, my sisters always make fun of me because my idea of a great meal is just turning over a can of organic kidney beans from Woolies and putting some green pepper and red pepper and sprinkling some cheese on top of it. And I'm like, Taco Tuesday, where you at? You know, so I don't have the most advanced palate. I'm also the type of person who I can travel, like I put in my Paris tell-all video. I can travel to the most food famous countries in the world, and I will still be the one on the menu looking for a burger and fries. You know, I'm not about to try any squid, anything fancy. I got the most basic palate in the world, and I'm quite okay with that. But it hasn't helped me in terms of my weight and my health. Because there's a lot of preservatives and there's a lot of chemicals in the type of food that I love. So my favorite type of food is your fried chicken, your macaroni and cheese. I love anything with cheese, guys, to be honest. If you can put cheese on it, put cheese on it. You know, I got cheese on it. This explains all of this, and I'm at a point where I do really, really, really want to change it. All jokes aside, I really do, because I want to get down to a body fat percentage that is healthy for my figure. So I don't need to worry about joint issues or any other issues. Because the older you get, y'all, the older you get, the harder it is to stay alive. So that is my biggest issue. When it comes to working out, I am really consistent with that. Well, not in lockdown, I haven't been, I won't even lie. But generally in life, I do really well with workouts. You don't need to really force me to work out. But when it comes to eating, and then another issue, and I think a whole lot of us can relate to this, is the flipping of diets. I thought it would be funny, or not funny, or interesting to share with you guys the different diets that I have tried and how they fared and how they didn't fare, and who I think they would work for and who they wouldn't work for. So Herbalife. I've done Herbalife before. The first time I did Herbalife was in 2011. It was in preparation for my sister's wedding, my big sister's wedding. It was the first time I was ever gonna be a bridesmaid, so I really wanted to look great. And I had 3 months to get it together. So I started Herbalife, and I started with, you know, the shake, that shake you have twice a day with the meal. The tea that, you know, if you measure it a little bit wrong, you literally start to see dancing leprechauns, your heart races, and the end feels very nigh. The pills back then, they had, I think, fiber and herb and something else, another pill, thermo complex, which is meant to burn your fat, if I'm not mistaken, and help you lose weight in a more, like, not curvy way, but in a more structured way. You know, sometimes you lose weight and you just look like loose meats. You know, guys, I've seen some people who actually look bigger overweight than they do thinner. And I think it's the way, not I think, my trainer actually told me this, it's the way that they actually have gotten there. So if you lose weight rapidly and with these fly-by-night, you know, schemes and stuff like that, you tend to look like you get laugh lines, you're looking like a ghoul, you know, which is not a bad thing, because at the end of the day, weight loss, right, is important because of what's going on the inside, right? But yes, just physically, sometimes it doesn't look cute. So that Herbalife pill was meant to help you shed, but shed it in such a way so you still look healthy and full of life and beautiful and glamorous and rich. Just kidding. I did that for 3 solid months, but I need to add that I also quit alcohol, and also the 1 meal a day I had was super healthy, and I never had a cheat day. I can't remember how many pounds or kgs I lost, but I looked phenomenal at the wedding. That's all I can say. And I got down to a weight that I really wanted to get down to. Now, I tried Herbalife years after that, and I did not have the same results, but I think I can't put it to Herbalife. I really have to say that it's probably because I didn't do the same routine all around. So I was having my wines, you know, and my meals, I would have like a burger and fries and a Coke. Another diet that I attempted, it's not really a diet, this one is more of a lifestyle change, is the counting of macros. So this involves, you know, really looking at your weight structure, looking at what body type, it's really like in depth. You usually need to start it by doing a body analysis to find out what type of body type are you. Are you a mesomorph? Are you an ectomorph? Are you an endomorph? I am an endomorph, like I said, which means I am like this, you know what I mean? I'm proportionate, and also I have very slow metabolism, guys. I can discuss having a Snickers bar and then I go weigh myself and I've already gained 5 kg. I have extremely slow metabolism. My metabolic age is literally 50, no lies. And yes, it's very hard to lose weight. Not very hard to lose weight, sorry. It's very easy to gain weight. And to lose weight, if you do the right thing, it actually happens quite fast. And so I did try this with somebody who was very knowledgeable in this area of macros and calorie counting and metabolic basal or body metabolic rate. She was really amazing at that, and it did work. But for me, it wasn't long-term sustainable because I really cannot carry my phone around with me and use an app and shoot, barcodes at Woolworths to calculate how many carbs are in this meal and how many, because that's what you have to do to get it right. You have to be very, very, very pedantic, and you have to be very methodical about what you're eating. This is not the type of lifestyle you can have in the beginning whilst you're getting used to and adjusted to it. That you can have if you're a sociable person, if you have a job where you eat out, where you are eventing and stuff like that. It's very hard to maintain it. You need to be in a position where you know that all your meals you're gonna cook yourself. When you can't, you are skilled up as much as possible on this macro calculation stuff that you can assume how many carbs or how many fats or how many protein, whatever's are in this meal. I'm not that type of person. My job involves me eating out a lot in the evenings, lunch dates and stuff like that. And I live alone, so I don't cook a lot for myself because I don't have to. It's easier for me to grab things. And also, there's nothing more embarrassing as somebody who's already a little bit hefty using their phone and shooting barcodes in a supermarket, because it just brings attention to you, and people are like, oh, what's happening here with this girl? Is she trying to see if she can afford this meal? Or, what's going on? So yeah, it didn't really work for me long term, but when I was doing it with the lady that I was doing it with, her name is Agatha. Boss Lady BW is her Instagram handle. She's amazing at what she does. And if you are somebody who is disciplined and you have structure in your life, I would strongly suggest you speak to her because she can help you. She did help me. I did end up losing body fat, mind you, really, really quickly. And without that much exercising, with just, I think in the beginning, I was maybe exercising 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and not too hectically, but I was dropping the body fat percentage and my lean muscle mass was growing. So this is a great way to lose weight if you're disciplined and if you have time. I think also if I wasn't working, if I was like a housewife, I would have been able to do it a lot better than I was. So that was that. And then keto. So I tried keto because I follow one of these makeup bloggers named Makeup Shayla, who has a body type that's similar to mine. She's curvy, she's a thick girl, and no matter how much she exercises and how well she eats, she never gets down to being a thin person, and she's been doing it and at it consistently for quite a long time. So I decided, okay, let me try keto because we have similar body types and we had similar habits as well as our lifestyles were slightly similar. I mean, I'm not a vlogger who travels the world, but I do have a lot of interactions outside of my home. So I figured, okay, let me try it. Keto is a diet where it's a very high fat, very low carb, and a low protein diet. So you're having a lot of avocado. It's not like you're not supposed to have it's not banting. So I never tried banting because I was like, there's no need for me to write an application for a heart attack. I don't understand a diet which means all I must have is bacon and cheese, and no. So I stayed away from banting. Keto focused a little bit more on healthy fats. So I can't remember the other fats that we were encouraged to eat, but I know Ava was really high up on that list. So she would have like an acai, I don't know how to pronounce it, acai, I don't know, bowl in the morning, which was hemp seeds, chia seeds, blueberries, pecans, almond milk, a little bit of almond butter, and other things that she included, right? So she would have that in the morning at like 10 when she broke her IF, intermittent fasting fast. And then she would, in the evening, would have maybe like shredded chicken, but not a lot because chicken is protein, right? And this is a high fat, low protein, low carb diet. And avo. And for me, it worked again. This is also the diet where you have bulletproof coffee, right? Which is coffee, black coffee with ghee. Ghee bachayetsu. I did not even know what ghee was. And I went to buy a tub of it, and it's just like a huge thing of butter, and you put this in your coffee. These things just for me don't connect, it's like an S curl that the activator wasn't in for long enough. I don't know why I'm having coffee with butter inside, it worked. Again, I lost weight and I lost really quickly actually with keto, but it just wasn't long-term sustainable. And my biggest concern is having a condition like high cholesterol or, high blood pressure and other things through a diet like that. And I know they say it's healthy fat, so it's not as bad, but no, it wasn't for me, so I stopped that. Raw vegan. I tried being a raw vegan with my good friend Zeppo. She was the first person I think I actually tried it with, if I'm not mistaken. And we had both embarked on this raw vegan thing, and it was just supposed to be for I think we did it for a small period of time. And I was really interested in this one because the raw vegan diet is really a great anti-inflammatory diet. And I have rheumatoid arthritis. I've had it since I was 25 years of age, and it bothers me from time to time. So I thought, let me get on this bandwagon and support her and do this raw vegan diet. And it worked wonders as well in terms of feeling healthy, feeling good. And I also shed a lot of water weight in the beginning, obviously. But again, not long-term sustainable, guys. It's especially when you live in a country like Botswana where you don't have a lot of restaurants that offer this type of solution. I don't want to go to a restaurant where people are eating nice things and I ask them for the celery that they're about to put in a green juice, if they can just bring it on a plate, you know what I mean, with nothing else. For me, that will just make me unhappy and make me resentful, and that's when I give up on the diet. So I didn't continue with it because I just knew that it wasn't gonna work for me forever. And plus, I will admit, I'm not the most amazing cook, or food preparer, however you wanna say it. A phenomenal baker, but not the most amazing cook. So and I think the reason why I'm such a good baker is because I follow instructions very well. When you cook, the best cooks are people who can throw things together without following instructions and it'll still come out great. I'm not really very good at that. I need a recipe. So it was a struggle for me to put together raw vegan meals. It just was not my thing, and it irritated me beyond. And I relied then on just juicing everything. But then that becomes very monotonous and you get very bored and you go back to resenting the diet and then you give up. So that didn't work. Intermittent fasting, which is what I'm still on right now. So this is the one diet, if I may say, or lifestyle change, I would say, that actually does work for me. It works for me because I am a late riser, so I don't really wake up early enough to have breakfast before work anyway. And I usually only end up eating lunch anyway. I'm not a big snacker, so I just don't need to nibble on things. I like a meal, like a hearty meal. So I used to do, or I still do, the 16-8. So I fast for 16 hours and then I have an 8-hour window of eating. And in that window, when intermittent fasting really works for me, consistently, is when I eat healthy. So I will usually break my fast with a green juice, and then at 1, and then the next time I eat is right before 8. I'll have a meal and I'll usually try and have a protein and veggies. That's when it works well. When it doesn't work well, but I still lose a little bit here and there, or I don't gain weight, is when I throw in a Nando's, I throw in a chicken licken, I break my fast with champagne, because it's brunch. I don't gain weight, but I don't necessarily lose weight, and it just doesn't make me feel healthy. So there's no point in me proceeding that way. But I would recommend intermittent fasting. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I have done some research on it. There's a book called Just Eat by Rachel Nakati, I hope I've pronounced that right, which gives you a lot of background on intermittent fasting. So I would recommend it, especially if you're somebody who doesn't want to be forced to eat a specific food group. Like if you don't want to be forced to eat just veggies or forced to eat, I would suggest it in that way. It's beautiful. So those are, I think, off the top of my head that I can remember, the diets that I have attempted in my life. And also they're off the top of my head because they're the ones that I continue to kind of go back to every time I feel like I've gained more than I would like to. I'm always like, okay, I think I'm gonna go back to being keto. Okay, I think I'm gonna be a raw vegan again. But the moral of this story and why I wanted to just share these diets with you guys is that nothing works unless you're consistent, 1. 2, you can't be consistent with something that's not realistic. And that for me is just the message behind the diets and why lifestyle changes is better than the dieting. And then when it comes to working out, I think for me personally, I think it's so important actually to do a body analysis. I would suggest that for anyone who's been struggling with weight loss, because you may hear that a low carb diet is great for you when it really isn't great for you because of your body type. I learned that through the body analysis that I got to do with Agatha, and it really shifted the whole way that I actually think of food. So it's not that I don't know what to do. I know exactly what to do. It's just I don't do it. So when it comes to working out, for me, working out is just a nice to have. That's the type of body type I have. I'm not like a mesomorph. I don't have an athletic body, and I probably never ever will. And that's another thing. We all need to remember that you cannot go from being an endomorph to a mesomorph, and you know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. I will never have a body like a Mantle Munsu. No matter how much I train, no matter how much, work I do, I will not. It's just not, and vice versa, because that's just not how our body types work. I can lose weight, but I will never be like this. I will always still have curves, because that's just the way my body is built. So working out is a nice to have for me. It's good for keeping my heart rate up. It's good for keeping me healthy and toned, and for making cellulite less recognizable, but it's not the thing that I need to lose weight. For me, it's just the thing that I need to be healthy and to look good and to feel good. But losing weight, it's not even 80-20 with me. The 80-20 rule where they say it's 80% in the kitchen, 20% in the gym. For me, it's 99%, 1%. The working out is 1%. The 99% is everything that I should be doing, which I'm not doing, which is eating right. I am in that battle of wanting to lose weight for superficial reasons and also wanting to lose weight for health. And I think my advice to myself and to anyone else who may be struggling with the similar things that I'm struggling with would be that you need to choose a side. And in my humble opinion, or at least the advice I'm giving myself through this whole little YouTube video, is that choose a side that benefits your health and not obviously just looking good, because you can look good in any size, in my humble opinion. I think I look great. I think I look fantastic. I love my curves. I love the way my body is. I love being thick. I would never want to be skinny. It's just not who I am. So that is not so much of an issue. And it's not like I can't find clothes in my size. Do you know what I mean? But the issue definitely is about being healthy and about living a longer life as much as I can control it. And about my future, you know what I mean? If the day comes that I would decide to, let somebody, allow me to become a mother or whatever, I don't know. And, I want to be able to go through those things without worrying about, predisposed conditions, because I did not take care of my weight now. So the whole reason why I'm doing this video is actually because I wanted to tell you guys that I am committing myself in public on this YouTube video to actually changing the way that I approach food. I'm not gonna do any type of fad diets, but I have to finish my Herbalife, guys, because I literally just ordered stock. So it starts. So I can't abandon that. I'm gonna finish it and then, But nonetheless, yes, I'm gonna try and put myself through just a 10-day detox, or maybe 5, of where I'm just eating fresh fruits and veggies, and wine. And then after that, I'm going to ease myself into a lifestyle change of just eating healthy. And I probably will maintain intermittent fasting, because I think it's good just for my blood sugar and stuff like that. But instead of eating in that window whatever I want, which I don't think is the best advice, to be very honest, I'm going to maintain a healthy eating with majority of the food that I ingest being vegetables and fruits. And yeah, that's basically it. I thought it would be nice to share that, because it's been something that has been it has been a part of my life, like I've said in the beginning, since I was a child. My life has just been a roller coaster of me trying to figure out which diet to start next and messing that diet up. And quite frankly, I'm sick and tired. So yeah, so if any of you can relate, let's just all vent together down below on our weight loss struggles. And if you are thin and within a healthy body fat range, I'd suggest that you just move on to the next video, because this is not a safe space for you. And it's important that I be honest. So thank you, and a big shout out and a big thank you to my girl, Nay, who is always listening to me when I tell her every other day that I want to become a vegan, and she just laughs. So thank you, Nay. Cheers, guys. Happy weekend.
Hit me.